Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. As you hopefully listen to my videos more and more, and as you hopefully are doing your own research on this topic, and listening to Benjamin Creme's videos and hearing his lectures online, maybe going to the Share International webpage and reading more about Maitreya's purpose and mission and stuff, you're going to hear a phrase or read a phrase that's going to come up quite a bit. And it's that Maitreya can't do it for us, we have to do it for ourselves. He's only here to inspire and galvanize humanity. We have to build the brilliant golden civilization based on righteousness and truth. And I use that phrase because that's what the Buddha predicted several thousand years ago, was that Maitreya is here to do. If you're a Christian and you read Revelations, well, he's only here to inspire us to build the New Jerusalem, not to do it ourselves. And the New Jerusalem is always misinterpreted as the city in Israel. It's not the city in Israel that Revelations is referring to. It's the whole world is the new Revelations, as the New Jerusalem in Revelations. You see? Now, if he's here to inspire and galvanize us, he has to help us prioritize what's important. And the three most pressing things that we need to do: end all war. We don't really, especially the world leaders, don't realize how precarious the situation is in the world with war in it, any kind of war. And, I'm living in a country, the United States, that is probably the biggest instigator of war right now. A lot of other countries want peace, and the United States claims to be a peaceful country, but it's not. It's a very warlike country, and has been for decades. And so within any one of those battles, any one of those little skirmishes could lead to the ending of all life on the planet. That's how precarious it is. That's why we have to put it behind us forever and create true peace. Now, the way to create peace is very simple. Maitreya says it: without sharing, there could be no justice. Without justice, there could be no peace. And of course, without peace, there could be no future. Couldn't be simpler, the way he says it. Now, when I say it, it's kind of but when he says it, there's going to be a lot of weight behind it because of the truth of who he really is and the heart of the master who's saying it to the entire world. The second thing is SOP, saving our planet. Working on helping to fix the environment, of course. Now, what's on the lips of all the people talking on TV, talking about the ecological problem, what to solve it's an important thing that they're talking about. Don't get me wrong. Greenhouse gases, carbon emissions, for instance, the global, climate change. Those are important things, but believe it or not, that's not the most important thing that we can do ecologically. According to Maitreya, the most important thing that we can do ecologically is shut down all the nuclear reactors in the world, because the nuclear reactors is wreaking much more havoc on our environment right now than the greenhouse gases are. And we'll talk more about it. I've made a mention to it in a previous video about nuclear radiation and stuff. And then the third thing is, of course, the ending of all hunger on the planet and solving that problem by sharing the world's resources. Now, the good news is about the third thing about the sharing of the world's resources is the infrastructure to solve that problem is already in place. We already have the planes, we already have the boats and the trains to move all the wasted food in the developed world over to the third world to help to feed them. It's already there. And the other good news is the blueprints to have that happen globally is already in place. It was inspired by Maitreya. He didn't do it for us, of course. We had to do it. But the former Chancellor of Germany, Willy Brandt, brought together a council, a table of all these extreme viewpoints. An extreme capitalist, extreme communist, extreme socialist, extreme right-wing politically, extreme left-wing politically leaning people, and came up with a consensus about how to solve this problem and how to share the world's resources. It's already in place. The best way to do it, I mean, I guess there's other ways, but the best way to do it is what Willy Brandt was proposing. And so we don't have to look for somebody to invent it. It's already invented. We don't have to look for the infrastructure to get it over there, all that food and resources over to the third world. It's already in place. The sharing of the world's resources have already happened once, with the Marshall Plan, where the United States gave its excess, what little it had, to Western Europe, and what little Western Europe had, in terms of excess, gave back to the United States, you see. Now, our job is to feed the physically hungry around the world. Maitreya's job is to feed the spiritually starving around the world, which is every one of us. He is here to build within us the knowledge of the truth that with what sits within our hearts is true divinity itself, nothing less. That we are souls in incarnation, not bodies with souls. That our lives have a purpose. And I remember reading in one of Benjamin Creme's master's messages, he said that people will literally be running down the street after they hear Maitreya, will literally be running down the street crying because for the first time their life will matter to them. And that person running down the street might be you. I don't know. But it is amazing how we live in a world where there are people who live in and around trash dumps, and the only purpose that they have in life is to find rotten food for them and their family. But when they hear Maitreya and the system of sharing is put into place, that they will realize that their life for the first time matters. I see people every day in my job who I know they don't know the true purpose in their life. They're only looking for alcohol. They're only looking for cigarettes. I mean, that's like the moment-to-moment thing that they're thinking about is their addictions, But we're all hooked on drugs. Maitreya says isms are like drugs. It blinds us to what is real. So it's not just the heroin addicts or the cocaine addicts around the world that are hooked on drugs. We all are, because none of us know the reality of who we really are, that we're all one, that within the hearts of all of us sits true divinity itself. The creativity of the cosmos is within the hearts of all of us, that we're all one. But in the meantime, and as always, take action. Help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos. Have a great day.